This is a private AI assistant running on my Windows PC. No internet, no API keys, no monthly cost. And everything you're seeing here is happening locally. Let me show you how to set this up step by step. We're going to do this in 3 steps. First, install Ollama. Second, run your first AI model. Third, connect it to code so you can actually use it in real projects. Let's start. Step 1. Install Ollama. Go to the official Ollama website. Click Download and select Windows. Once it downloads, just double-click and install it like any normal application. Now, here's what usually confuses people. When you open Ollama, you won't see a normal app window. It runs quietly in the background, usually in your system tray. So, even if it looks like nothing happened, it's actually running. If you don't see it there, don't worry, we'll confirm it next. Let's make sure it's working. Press Windows plus R. Type CMD and hit enter. Type this command, Ollama. If you see this output, you're good to go. If this doesn't work on your machine, drop the error in the comments. I'll help you fix it. Quick note before we run this. These models run entirely on your hardware. If you have 8GB RAM, it'll work. But slower 16GB, ideal 32GB, you can run larger models. And you are downloading the full AI model. So make sure you have enough storage. If you're not sure what your PC can handle, I'll break that down in the next video. Now let's run your first AI model. Type this command, Ollama run Llama 2. If this is your first time, it's going to download the model. And once this finishes, this model lives on your machine. It's not a service anymore. It's something you own. Type, write a business plan for Africa. Notice how fast that is. No internet delay, no API calls. This is running entirely on your computer. Let's try one more, but this time using Ollama graphical user interface. Open the app. Select the model we just installed. Type your prompt. Write a professional email. Same thing, instant response. Now let's talk about something that actually matters. Which model should you use? To see what you already have installed, type this command, Ollama list. But this is just what's on your computer. If you want more models, you can explore the Ollama library online. You'll see models labeled like this, 7B, 13B, 70B. That B stands for billion parameters. Parameters are basically the knowledge capacity of the model. Think of it like this. More parameters equal to more understanding. Fewer parameters equal to faster but simpler. So 7B means 7 billion parameters. 13B means 13 billion parameters. 70B means 70 billion parameters. Here's the trade-off. Smaller models, like 7 billion parameters, run faster, use less memory, and are good for basic tasks. Larger models, like 13 or 70 billion parameters, are more accurate and have better reasoning, but they're slower and heavier. So you're always choosing between speed and intelligence. Now let's match this to your computer. If you have 8 GB of RAM, stick to smaller models around 3 to 7 billion parameters. If you have 16 GB of RAM, you can run 7 to 13 billion parameter models comfortably. If you have 32 GB or more, you can try larger models like 30 billion parameters and above. If the model is too big, it either won't run or it will be very slow. Now let's talk about something important, your GPU. A GPU is your graphics card. If your computer has a dedicated GPU, your models will run much faster. If you don't have a GPU, no problem, it will still work. But it will run on your CPU, which is slower. So GPU equals faster responses. No GPU equals slower, but still usable. The hard disk capacity required by these models are big. You have models of up to 32 GB on disk, and at one point you'll want to delete them. Use these commands to manage your models. First, to see all your downloaded model, type Ollama list. Then to remove Qwen 3.5, type Ollama ARM Qwen 3.5. Latest, install what you need, remove what you don't. Alright, we've installed Ollama and we've run our first model directly in the terminal. Now we move to step 3, using this AI inside your own code. Most tutorials stop at the terminal demo, but that's not useful for building anything real. So let's go further. Before we write any code, we need to make sure Ollama is running as a server in the background. Open your terminal and run. Ollama serve, this starts a local server on your machine. Think of it like turning on a light switch before you try to use the lamp. Your code will connect to it through that server. You can leave this running in the background. Just open a second terminal for the next steps. Now, in that second terminal, install this Python package. Pip install requests. The requests library lets Python talk to web servers, including the local one Ollama just started. Open Visual Studio Code. Create a new file. Name it test.py. Paste this in. Let me explain what each part does. URL. The address of your local Ollama server, not the internet, your machine. Payload. Your message. The model name and what you're asking. Stream. False. This gets you one clean response instead of a flood of raw chunks. The last 2 lines send the message and print the reply. Save the file. Then run. Python test.py. You'll see the AI's response printed in your terminal. Same model as before. Now it's responding inside your own program. That's the shift. You're not just chatting with it. You're controlling it with code. Now here's where it gets real. Because this isn't just a tech demo. This is an actual business. 9 use cases. Real ones. Local SEO content. Write 30 blog posts overnight for a small business. Charge $300 a month. Your cost? 0. Resume rewriting. Automate 80% of the work. Charge $100 per order. Handle 15 a day. Private document Q&A. Small law firms can't paste client files into ChatGPT. Sell them a local version. $500 setup, $100 a month. HR policy chatbot. Load the employee handbook. Staff ask questions instead of emailing HR. Deployed inside their network. Customer support drafts. Complaint comes in. AI writes the reply in 2 seconds. The support agent then simply approves and sends the draft. Real estate listings. 5 property details in. Full listing, Instagram caption, and buyer email out. Morning email briefing. Script runs at 7 a.m. Reads your inbox. Sends 5 bullets and your action items. Nothing touches the cloud. Competitor monitoring. Scrape 10 competitor sites every night. Model tells you what changed. Agencies pay $300 a month for this. AI ghostwriter. Feed it 50 examples of your writing. It learns your voice. Every draft sounds exactly like you. 9 businesses, all running on a model that fits in under 400 megabytes. And your API cost for every single one of them? 0. No subscription, no usage limits, no data leaving your machine. Just you, your code, and a model running on your own hardware. That is what most people building with AI right now do not have. And you just built it in under 10 minutes. Now, I need you to do 3 things before you close this video. 1. Save this video. You are going to come back to it. 2. Pick one use case from that list. Just one. The one that made you stop and think. Write it down right now. 3. Drop it in the comments. Tell me which one you're building, because the person who comments, I read every single one. And I will personally reply to the most interesting build. This channel is not about watching AI tutorials. It is about actually building things. If that is what you are here for, subscribe. Because the next video is where this gets dangerous. I am going to show you how to give this AI memory, how to connect it to tools, how to make it take actions on its own without you touching anything. Fully autonomous, fully local, fully yours. Do not miss that one.